Before stadiums were packed with screaming fans, before awards filled their mantels, and before they were household names, the Statler Brothers were just four guys from Virginia, singing in a church, cracking jokes between hymns, and dreaming of something bigger. They never chased fame. But fame came for them anyway. Not because they were flashy, but because they were authentic. In a music world often defined by heartbreak and honky-tonks, the Statler Brothers brought something warmer: nostalgia, faith, family, and fun. They were storytellers in four-part harmony. And over the course of 4 decades, they became the quiet kings of country harmony, icons of an era where being true mattered more than being loud. This is the story of the Statler Brothers and the legacy they left behind. The story begins in Staunton, Virginia, a quiet town nestled in the Shenandoah Valley. That's where Harold Reid, his brother Don Reid, and their friends Phil Balsley and DeWitt first began singing gospel music together. They weren't called the Statler Brothers yet. Back then, they went by the 4-Star Quartet, later changing it to the Kingsmen, until they realized another group had already taken the name. The final name? Statler Brothers. Not because anyone was named Statler, but because they saw a box of Statler brand tissues in a hotel room and thought it sounded classy. Their blend of gospel and country, and a lot of clean-cut humor, got them noticed. But it wasn't until a certain Johnny Cash came to town that everything changed. In 1964, Cash invited them to tour as his opening act and backup singers. Suddenly, these boys from Staunton were on the road with a living legend. They would perform with Johnny Cash for over 8 years, and during that time, they grew from backup harmonizers into headliners in their own right. What made the Statler Brothers special wasn't just the sound, it was the balance. Don Reid sang lead and became the group's primary songwriter. Harold Reid, the deep bass voice, added comic relief and grounded the harmonies. Phil Balsley, the baritone, was the glue that held the blend together. DeWitt, the tenor, gave the group a soaring sweetness. Together, they created something rare, harmony that felt like home. They broke out with their first major single, Flowers on the Wall, in 1965, a song written by DeWitt that mixed deadpan humor with existential weariness. It hit number 1, 2 on the country chart, and even crossed into the pop top 10. Flowers on the Wall wasn't just a hit, it was a mission statement. They weren't going to be like everyone else. They were going to do it their way. Clever, quirky, clean, and real. Through the 1970s and 80s, they followed up with hits like Bed of Roses, Do You Remember These?, The Class of '57, I'll Go to My Grave Loving You. Their music celebrated small-town life, high school memories, patriotic pride, and faith in something higher. They weren't rebels. They were reflections, and America saw itself in them. By the 1990s, the Statler Brothers were country music royalty, and TV came calling. In 1991, they launched the Statler Brothers show on TNN, the Nashville network. It aired every Saturday night and ran for 7 seasons, becoming the highest-rated show in the network's history. It featured musical guests, skits, performances, and plenty of Harold Reid's signature humor. More than just a variety show, it was a celebration of country culture, a weekly tradition for families across the U.S. They didn't just sing hits, they honored the past, they lifted up new voices, and they showed that being clean and kind could still fill a stage. The Statler Brothers weren't just singers, they were writers, jokers, and observers of American life. Their songs weren't about chasing girls in trucks or beer on back roads. They were about growing up, growing old, and remembering what mattered. They made you laugh with songs like You Can't Have Your Kate and Edith Too, How to Be a Country Star. And they made you tear up with More Than a Name on a Wall, Who Am I to Say? They mastered sentiment without being sappy, and humor without being crude. Their clean image wasn't branding, it was who they were. In 1983, original tenor Lou DeWitt had to step down due to Crohn's disease. He was replaced by Jimmy Fortune, a powerhouse singer who brought new energy to the group. With Fortune, they recorded new hits like Elizabeth, Too Much on My Heart, My Only Love. Even in transition, the Statlers never lost their soul. But in 2002, after nearly 40 years of touring, the group decided to retire. They didn't fade away. They planned a final tour. They said thank you. Then they went home to Virginia, just like they always said they would. In 2020, bass singer Harold Reid passed away at age 80. In 2022, tenor Lou DeWitt was inducted posthumously into the Country Music Hall of Fame. But their harmony never left. The Statler Brothers won 3 Grammy Awards, 9 CMA Awards for Vocal Group of the Year, induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2008. But their real legacy isn't trophies, it's the way they made people feel. They reminded America that it's okay to believe in something, to love home, and to laugh at yourself. They were proud to be country, proud to be clean, proud to be Statlers. And that pride, it never went out of style. The Statler Brothers didn't change country music with rebellion. They changed it by being consistent, being kind, and being true. In a world chasing trends, they stood still and let the world come to them. They taught us, it's okay to be nostalgic. It's okay to have manners. It's okay to love your country and your family and your God. They weren't just musicians, they were the soundtrack to real life. And as long as someone's driving down a back road, or sitting on a porch, or remembering where they came from, the Statler Brothers will still be singing in 4-part harmony forever.